Great Northwoods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Today on Good Morning Maine, a big loss on Great Cranberry Island, where the only general store is destroyed by fire.
Plus, why Bangor may soon be home to refugees seeking a new life in the U.S.
And how a local organization is working hard to keep cancer patients fed with the foods they need. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll have those stories and much more coming up, including talking about New Year's Eve preps. Can't believe it's almost New Year's Eve around here.
Already.
Yeah.
Yep.
As far as the weather's concerned today, a pretty quiet day ahead. We could receive a few snow showers out there, so it could be a little slippery in areas, but overall not a big storm. Nothing that we haven't faced before.
I'll take it. Devin Biggs has the details.
Hey, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. We've made it to Wednesday. We do have an aerial flood advisory that's in effect just to the southwest of Lincoln, and this is up until 9 a.m. this morning. This is because of an ice jam that has developed that has caused some flooding in a few areas. And as you can tell, it's a very small spot that's under an advisory. But if you know anyone in this area, you may want to let them know or definitely keep an eye on things, as there is that concern with an ice jam that's taking place. On top of that, we're watching some precipitation moving in from the west going toward the east. And within the past several hours, we've been watching for some snow that's continuing to move in. We can see a little accumulations out of this, but of course, whatever accumulates will not be lasting very long, with a sharp warm-up on the way later on this week, possibly 40s on the way before we're all finished up later on the next 5 days. But here's the snow right here riding along this front here, tracking off towards the east. So again, a little bit of accumulations today, maybe make traveling a little bit tricky from time to time, but nothing too ridiculous in effect at this point. Here's the winds, so out of the south, and we might see them change in a few areas, mainly out of the west to the south in a few spots around 5 to 10 miles per hour. But even through Thursday, the wind's looking a little more relaxed, so we're looking pretty good as we continue to move forward. So again, snow showers expected today and a little bit into tonight, but a lot of the coverage will back off. Another wave of snow possible, especially the northern ends of the state as we head towards tomorrow morning. So here's your forecast for today. Lower 30 snow showers on the way. A southwest wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Here's your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period. Cloudy skies, snow showers on the way. Temperatures in the 30s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
Thank you, Devin. Residents of the Great Cranberry Island are heartbroken after the general store there burned down overnight. Our Matthew Juronsik has more.
The hardest part was when the people got on the boat from Cranberry and they said it was burnt all the way down to the ground.
A fire destroyed the Cranberry Isle General Store and Sea Witch Cafe overnight despite firefighters' best efforts to save it.
All we could see was, emergency vehicles, fire engines. We saw a lot of smoke, and it's just devastating.
Crews from the island, Southwest Harbor, and Mount Desert responded and tried to save the century-old community landmark. Sadly, it is now a total loss.
Definitely, it was, I would say, almost devastating, just because of how many memories I have there and the connections that I formed with a large portion of the community on the island.
The general store was not just a place where people could shop for groceries. It was a place where memories were created.
When I worked on the mailboat when I was younger, the captain, he would always have me run up to the store in between boats to get us 2 ice creams, and I had to make sure that I could get back down to the boat before they started melting all over my hands and stuff.
With the only store on the island gone, islanders must now travel much farther to get essential supplies.
Now the only way for you to get groceries is by going off island or ordering them through UPS or FedEx.
Flores says the community will come together and get through these tough times together.
I don't think that it should break the island. I don't think that it should break the community. I think that it should only hopefully reinforce the idea of asking your neighbor for some milk. I think that with how strong the community is, I think that they will recover.
Matthew Juronsik, ABC 7 and Fox 22.
That fire broke out Monday, still no word on a cause. A Brewer man, meanwhile, is facing charges after he allegedly assaulted a store clerk the day after Christmas. 24-year-old Joel Williams is being charged with assault, violation of release, and an active arrest warrant. Brewer police say they responded to reports of an assault at the Circle K on North Main Street a little after 10 o'clock Monday night. Police say Williams entered the store with another person and attempted to purchase items, but his card wouldn't work. They say that's when Williams allegedly entered the clerk's area behind the counter and assaulted the clerk, causing non-life-threatening injuries. Williams was free on 24 active sets of bail conditions for other crimes, including at least one felony. Officers arrested Williams at his residence on Holyoke Street in Brewer. He was taken to the Penobscot County Jail without incident.
A toddler's death is under investigation on the Mid-Coast region. State police are staying pretty tight-lipped about the case, but neighbors are speaking out about what they saw. Mal Meyer has more on this developing story from the Mid-Coast.
The 911 call came in right at 7:37 Christmas morning. A 3-year-old wasn't breathing. State police say first responders with the Lincoln County Sheriff's Department went to the home on Route 1 in Edgecombe.
It's just an unsettling thing to be 2 doors down from something like that when it happens.
While state police would not confirm the address, neighbors tell CBS 13 this is a townhouse that authorities responded to. And we found a major crimes unit card jammed into a neighboring apartment door.
It's something I don't forget, looking out the window, seeing all the police, and then seeing, when they ran to the ambulance.
State police say the child, who has not been identified, was taken to nearby Miles Memorial Hospital and pronounced dead. An autopsy was conducted in Augusta yesterday, but the Attorney General's office has requested the cause and manner of death be withheld. A spokesperson declined to comment further.
I hope they figure out what happened to that youngster.
So far, no one has been arrested or charged. Area residents have been surprised by the news.
That's kind of a shocker.
Some community members say they are frustrated by a lack of information, but understand why officials are not releasing more details just yet.
I guess they have to be careful and not release certain things.
For now, neighbors like George Moody are left to only wonder what could have led to this.
I just hope in my heart the good Lord's taking care of that youngster.
We also reached out to Maine DHHS, but citing state and federal laws and, quote, to avoid compromising law enforcement's investigation, the department can't comment.
That was Mal Meyer reporting. Meanwhile, Central Maine Power says it has completed power restoration as of Tuesday night for the more than 300,000 customers who lost power during the Friday storm. The work included resetting more than 300 broken utility poles. The company says line crews will sweep circuits over the next few days to ensure there are no new potential threats to the system like hanging tree limbs. CMP President and CEO Joe Purrington said in a statement, quote, our customers have been patient and have had nothing but supportive things to say to all of these line workers out restoring power since Friday. This goodwill goes a long way over a holiday spent away from families, end quote. Meanwhile, Versant Power is still working to restore several hundred outages, mostly in Hancock County. That area also has numerous broken poles. It hopes to have most of those customers back online by tonight.
After a lengthy application process, Bangor will soon welcome international refugees, hoping for a fresh start. A.J. Douglas talked to one of the directors behind the initiative.
Refugees have been resettling in southern Maine since 1975, according to Catholic Charities Maine Assistant Program Director Charles Mugabe. Mugabe says stakeholders in the Bangor community urged the organization to assist with obtaining a federal approval for refugee resettlement in Bangor. That approval was granted December of 2021, and now there are roughly 20 refugees headed to Bangor to start a new life.
As they come, they bring new cultures, right? They bring new languages, right? From the economical side, we see that they help. Their arrival supports us in addressing some of the workforce challenges.
Refugees must complete a screening process prior to being approved for resettlement. Those seeking a fresh start in Bangor will have traveled from Syria, Ethiopia, Guatemala, and other locations around the world. Some have waited almost a decade for the opportunity to make a new home in a safer place.
When we look at refugee camps, oftentimes there is just a basic tent with polythene bags or plastic bags on the ground for children and families to sleep on. And if they're fortunate enough, they get blankets to cover themselves on those plastic bags.
Incoming refugees must follow the same rental application process as all Mainers. Mugabe says at times applications are declined due to there being a lack of credit history. Catholic Charities Maine has caseworkers that partner with local landlords to ensure newcomers are housed.
Housing is a big challenge, but we are very fortunate that the Bangor community has stepped up above and beyond.
At least 16 individuals are set to relocate in Bangor by mid-January. More could make the journey later in the year. In Bangor, AJ Douglas, ABC 7, Fox 22.
Well, meanwhile, the city of Belfast is moving forward with construction for a combined public safety building. The money comes as part of the newly passed omnibus spending bill, which allotted $1.5 million to the city. That funding will allow Belfast to upgrade its current fire and ambulance service building at its current location of 273 Main Street, with the intention of being the hub for all emergency service training, as well as having its fire, ambulance, and police services all under one roof.
This building will just be huge because it will allow our police, fire, and ambulance to have the best communication. We'd like to serve as a place where folks can come from all across the state to do training in these fields. Here in Belfast, we've just really put a lot of emphasis on building the best emergency response team in the state, and that's what we're doing.
There's currently no timeline for when that project will be completed. There will be a city council meeting on January 3rd to seek authorization for hiring an engineering firm for preliminary cost estimates. Exciting time for the folks there in Belfast.
Always good to have another training place.
Yeah.
Well, the time is now 6:11. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, a favorite skiing and snowboarding spot in Knox County is now open for the season. We'll have photos from opening day.
But first, let's take another look at our forecast. Looks like we could expect some snow showers today. The high will be near 33 degrees. Mostly cloudy tonight with lows dipping down to 25. Tomorrow, a mostly cloudy day. A little bit warmer. Highs near 38 degrees.
Maine's #1 Kia dealer, Van Sickle Kia, has you covered. Front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, hybrid, or fully electric. Brand new 2023 Kia Sportage, Sorento, Soul, Forte, and more. Check out the all-new 2023 Kia Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg highway, or the affordable Sporty Forte with 41 mpg highway. Plus, get Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The best in the business.
The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. I'm Peter Van Sickle. I guarantee it.
The biggest sale of the year starts right now, and it's only at the Furniture Gallery. Huge discounts everywhere during our year-end blowout sale. Recliners starting at $299. Queen mattresses also $299. And sectionals as low as $699. Save up to 75% off brand names like Ashley, Lane, Serta, Simmons, Nectar. You won't see these savings again, so don't miss your chance to purchase that special item now. Support our Maine family-owned business and save money. The Furniture Gallery in Augusta, Bangor, Gorham, Newport, and North Windham.
Steve Harvey says my Aunt Agnes has the world's biggest what? Big underwear.
Weekdays at 9 on ABC 7.
My sister's done some horrible things to me. She's evil and manipulative. She's nothing but a gangbanger. She lives in a trailer park. Methamphetamine abuser. She should be in prison.
Hot Bench. Wednesday at 3 on ABC 7.
A local cancer support group has reached a new milestone with their medically tailored meals. Devin Dagnall met with some of those who helped make it happen.
For 8 years, the Christine B. Foundation has been supporting Mainers as they battle cancer. Since March of 2020, the organization has been offering medically tailored meals for cancer patients. According to the CBF's most recent estimates, they have provided the equivalent of 275,000 meals, many of which were delivered right to the patient's doors. According to Matt Dexter, the executive director of the Christine B. Foundation, this is a pivotal milestone for the organization.
One of the biggest things that they said they needed was food and proper food. So before the pandemic started in early 2020, we started this effort to not only give them any sort of food, but listen to them on how we can tailor it to their needs.
According to Dexter, different types of cancers require different types of dietary needs in order to be effectively combated. Each haul of groceries provided by the CBF is custom made to suit each patient's dietary needs and preferences.
Every time that we have somebody that's been referred to us, we will do a pretty thorough nutritional analysis, I guess, in speaking with them. We will go through. We will ask about the type of cancer, how long they've been in treatment, where they are in their process.
What's most impressive about the CBF is the cost of the services like its medically tailored meals. They are all free for cancer patients.
The Christine B. Foundation ensures that every single service we provide, whether it's the cancer conferences we make available, this nutrition assistance, and the ongoing nutrition education service, is all free to the public. Anyone with a cancer diagnosis can really access it with low barrier.
If you'd like to volunteer or access any of the CBF's services, check out their website at chrisbfund.org. In Bangor, I'm Devin Dagnall for ABC7 and Fox 22.
The Maine Tavern in downtown Bangor has announced they will close until further notice. Known for their Bangor Greetings mural, hopeful sign, and karaoke, the closure will take effect January 1st. According to the bar's Facebook page, they have shared that they will consult their attorneys as to how to ensure that the 2 parking spaces for the bar stay within their control.
This hasn't been a great winter so far for some of Maine's smaller ski resorts. There simply hasn't been enough snow or the conditions needed to make it. That was also the case at the Camden Snow Bowl, but they're finally open. Rochelle Gagne and her team have been busy making snow to give people something to do during the holiday break. They'll be open from 9 until 4 throughout the holiday break and hope to offer tubing later in the season. Herman Mountain is also busy making snow and hopes to open for the season tomorrow. Or is that today? Today. They also will be offering tubing later in the winter.
I believe that the folks up north, they have their, what is it, up near
Big
Lee.
Squaw?
Yeah, up near Lee.
Yeah.
Jefferson Mountain, I think it is.
Yeah, there's a couple that are open now.
Too.
Yep.
So there's some skiing out there if you look for it. Folks in Millbridge, meanwhile, have a new and fun way to have some fun. The ice rink is ready for wading skaters. The rink is located at the end of Mill Street by the sewer treatment plant. Town manager Louis Pinkham says there aren't any lights yet, but it is ready for use. The group that has been working on it invites folks to put on your skates and give it a try. They're also asking folks to take pictures and to share them. It is winter. It's finally getting some cold weather. Some of those things will start opening up. Yesterday they were talking about Bangor. Usually they flood the Broadway Park for skating.
Yep.
We just don't have any snow yet, so it's going to take a little while longer. But
I grew up going to that one. It easily gets messed up, but I think Belfast has one as well. There's a couple here and there. I know that the weather we're about to get you may only have a couple days, but hopefully we'll have a thaw and then a really quick freeze.
Right. I've seen some people skating on some of the ponds too. I'm still a little too nervous to do that myself, but
I've been the same way. I've been thinking about it, and we'll have some ice safety tips too. So
good.
Yeah, all sorts of
we
stuff.
can always use those.
Right.
Well, the time now is 6:18. Coming up after the break, we'll get a recap of the biggest news stories from March through April of this year.
Plus, we'll check out the scene in Buffalo, New York, where the historically bad winter storm has taken lives and left officials to assess the damage. We'll be right back with the details.
When Mainly Mercantile wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Mainly Mercantile is a venue of small businesses. We are a diverse group offering upcycled furniture and home decor, vintage items, jewelry, DIY creative products, made in Maine items, and souvenirs.
Hammond Lumber Company appreciates the communities that have supported Hammond's prosperity and growth over the years. The Hammond team is grateful for the opportunity to give back by supporting local causes that sustain strong, vibrant communities throughout Maine and New Hampshire. Hammond recognizes that they could not do this without your support. Thank you for choosing Hammond as your building project partner. Hammond Lumber Company, proud to serve local communities since 1953.
Whenever Maine Wood Floors wants to know the weather, they log on to foxbangor.com. Whether you're searching to add beauty with a new hardwood floor or need to restore your old one, Maine Wood Floors is your hardwood flooring expert in Mid-Coast Maine.
How do you figure that it's not your fault? If not yours, then whose?
Marilyn Millian.
Look, miss. Don't call me miss, it's Judge.
Well, Miss Judge.
Not Miss Judge, just Judge.
The People's Court. I like your style, Judge.
All this week at 4 on ABC7. Put a little more cash in your bank. Save money with half-off deals at foxbangor.com.
Continuing our year in review, Peter Dubois takes a look back at some of the biggest stories from March and April of 2022.
This is a sad day for the city of Belfast.
On March 24th, a fire ripped through the Penobscot-McCrum potato processing plant in Belfast. Everyone inside the facility made it out safely, but the plant was destroyed, putting more than 100 employees out of a job. In April, UMaine hosted a job fair to help those workers get back on their feet.
We have resources for the folks who have lost their jobs. We have rent relief, we have fuel assistance, we have food boxes from the Belfast Soup Kitchen, so that anybody coming in has multiple levels of support.
In late March, former Maine gubernatorial candidate Elliot Cutler was arrested and charged with possessing sexually explicit materials of a minor under the age of 12. Cutler was arrested at his residence in Brooklyn, Maine. The charges against him came as a surprise to community members.
It was probably the last thing that we thought would be the reason for the investigation.
In mid-April, Maine's airports dropped their mask requirements following a court order that ended the CDC's mask mandate, a long-awaited milestone in the COVID-19 pandemic for many.
It's much more comfortable for my wife and I not to have to wear a mask for such a length of time.
Also in April, lawmakers in the Maine Senate and House approved the supplemental budget by overwhelming majority. The budget included $850 relief checks for most Mainers during a time of rising inflation.
People are still struggling to find their footing again, and we're happy to give some immediate direct relief.
In late April, a Bangor nightclub found itself in the spotlight once again due to violent crime taking place there. A fight in the parking lot of Half Acre nightclub quickly escalated. Several gunshots were fired and one man was wounded. 4 people were arrested in connection to that shooting.
Yeah, we are aware of similar instances down there, and we've responded to those and dealt with those accordingly. You know, we've had another shooting down there. We actually had a stabbing that turned out to be fatal.
Maine lawmakers and other leaders expressed outrage over another incident of violence and called for the club's liquor license to be revoked.
I think most of the people in Bangor, myself included, have had enough. Revoking their liquor license is the most effective way to either shut these businesses down or the most effective way to force them to control the situation. Because without a liquor license, they're not going to be making money.
After facing pressure from the City Council's Government Operations Committee to come up with ways to make the club safer, the owner of Half Acre announced he would be closing the nightclub. He described it as a personal decision. Reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22, I'm Peter Dubois.
Now the news, federal officials say the fading North Atlantic right whale will remain protected under the Endangered Species Act and requires a series of protective steps to stave off extinction. The whales number only about 340, and they have declined in population in recent years. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration released a review of the whale's status yesterday. It said the whale is continuing to decline and has not met many of the recovery criteria outlined in its recovery plan. Protection of the whale is a source of dispute between conservationists and commercial fishermen because NOAA claims one of the top threats to the animals is entanglement in fishing gear. Fishermen and state leaders disagree, highlighting data from NOAA that shows there has never been a right whale death directly attributed to Maine fishing gear.
The time now is 6:23.
It's time to get a full look at our weather forecast. Here's Devin.
All right, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Here's that aerial flood advisory in effect until 9 a.m. Wednesday. This is because of an ice jam that has developed just to the south and west of Lincoln. There's that small green box right there, so not a very widespread area. So once this expires, we'll know things will begin to improve. If you know anyone in this area, or if you're in this area, definitely keep an eye on things. So, as of course, a little bit of flooding is occurring thanks to an ice jam. But otherwise, here we go. We do have some snow moving in from the west. Going toward the east, we have a front off toward our north, and this is causing some snow to develop this morning. morning, and we could see a little bit of accumulations before we're all finished up, but eventually later this week, everything will melt with temperatures that will be warming up thanks to this large warm front that's developed across the northern ends of the states and even in parts of Canada, and yes, right over us too. So temperatures later this week possibly making it into the 40s. That will feel amazing. With futurecast moving forward, we do have snow that's moving through and plenty of clouds as well. We might see a few breaks in the clouds as we head towards later on tonight and parts of tomorrow morning. Another small wave of snow possible, especially in the northern ends of the state as we head towards Thursday morning. But otherwise for us, just mainly clouds and maybe a few breaks in those clouds as we head further out towards the south and west. So overall, we're looking pretty good as we continue to move forward. Snow accumulations won't be anything ridiculous, maybe an inch or so in the northern ends of the state by Millinocket and Greenville, but lesser amounts further off towards the south and east, so we're looking pretty good there. Then the next wave gets going as we head towards Thursday, and as you can see, maybe a little bit more snow possible in the northern ends of the state, but for us, looking pretty good, generally an inch or less in many areas. So again, wave heights not too bad. The winds are relaxed, ranging from around 1 to 2 feet according to the buoys closer to shore, 4 feet according to this buoy, and 5 feet according to this buoy. So overall, we're looking pretty good across the ocean. This morning, we're advertised 31 degrees. We'll reach for the lower 30s today, upper 30s Thursday. Here's the warm-up, 40s Friday, upper 40s Saturday, and close to 50 degrees Sunday before we start cooling off again Monday and your Tuesday in the upper 30s to lower 40s. So your forecast for today, lower 30s, snow showers on the way, generally an inch or less with lesser amounts to the south and east, with that southwest breeze at about 5 miles per hour. Later on tonight, mid-20s, mostly cloudy with a slight chance for snow, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Tomorrow, especially to the north, mostly cloudy, a slight chance for snow. Everyone else will be mostly cloudy overall. Highest in the upper 30s and southeast wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. All right, here's a look at your extended forecast. So again, mostly cloudy on Friday. Highs in the mid-40s. A slight chance for rain showers for your Saturday, New Year's Eve. Highs in the upper 40s. And better chances for rain showers get going on New Year's Day. Highs close to 50 degrees.
It only takes a second for an everyday item to become dangerous. Tide Pods Child Guard Pack helps keep your laundry packs in a safe place and your child safer. To close, twist until it clicks. Tide Pods Child Guard Packaging.
Today, my friend, you did it! You did it! You
Good
did
news! A new clinical study showed that Centrum Silver supports cognitive health in older adults. It's one more step towards taking charge of your health. So every day, you can say, it's Centrum Silver.
Did you know that it's possible to buy the wrong type of flooring for your home? Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or professional contractor, the experts at Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors are here to help, offering solid pro advice from choosing the right material and color to installation. Don DeKalb features the highest quality hardwood flooring sourced from lumber right here in Maine, from Maine traditions. Not only will you get a floor you'll love, you'll get a floor that will last. Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors, buy from the best, forget the rest.
Luna Family Auto Sales is a locally owned business run by a husband and wife team.
Here at Luna Family Auto Sales, we combine our passion for cars with providing service to the community and local economy. Featuring no dock or hidden fees at all, we offer financing for all credit types and service everything we sell.
Check out our website at lunafamilyautosales.com.
Or come in and say hi. We'd love to meet you and introduce ourselves. Luna Family Auto Sales, 649 Stillwater Ave, Old Town.
Friday nights are about to get wild for basketball fans. Friday Night Fast Break is your source for everything that is Maine high school basketball, highlights, and local analysis. It's the only show that hits every corner of Maine's hardwood hoop landscape, high school, college, and professional. Join us Friday night during basketball season for Friday Night Fast Break on ABC 7 News at 11. Brought to you by Coastal Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts dealer with 29 locations, owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
Officials in Buffalo are cracking down on drivers in the city as extraordinary cleanup efforts continue. The move comes as emergency crews work to clear the streets and assess the damage and lives lost following the historic and deadly blizzard. Fox's Alexis McAdams has the details.
Storm-battered Buffalo still working to recover after a massive and deadly blizzard slammed the city and other parts of western New York.
We got, when I was looking at the measurements, about 41 inches of snow, and then we got more snow on top of that.
As communities dig out, many grappling with the enormous loss of life. the death toll surpassing the 29 storm-related deaths of that historic blizzard of 77. Most of those killed in this storm were in the city of Buffalo, but that number expected to grow.
Fortunately, the most deaths that we've ever had in a storm as a result of Mother Nature's wrath.
It's not just massive snowbanks that need clearing. Abandoned cars are still blocking streets. Because of these hazards, Buffalo officials putting a strict driving ban in place to create safe and easy passage for first responders and to help emergency crews clean up from the storm. Despite days of pleas to stay off those roads, a number of folks ignoring the ban, forcing authorities to deploy dozens of state and military police to enforce the policy.
If you are trying to get in the city of Buffalo, please stay out unless you're emergency personnel, unless you're a first responder, unless you're authorized in an emergency situation.
This once-in-a-generation storm, which started ahead of Christmas weekend, pummeled western New York with blizzard conditions and more than 4 feet of lake-effect snow, prompting concerns about flooding later in the week.
The primary focus, because of that melt, is going to be to make sure that we are cleared from curb to curb in as many areas as possible. Western New York expected to warm up in the coming days. In New York, I'm Alexis McAdams, Fox News.
Well, now to the battle over migrants at the nation's southern border. An important part of it is headed to the Supreme Court. That part is what's called Title 42, the Trump-era policy that's cleared the way for expelling at least 2.5 million asylum seekers from the U.S. The court says it should remain law for now. Here's ABC's Morgan Norwood.
This morning, President Biden's first reaction to the Supreme Court decision that keeps Title 42 in place until the court reconvenes next year to decide the policy's long-term future.
In the meantime, we have to enforce it, but I think it's overdue.
The pandemic-era policy allows border officials to expel asylum seekers on public health grounds. The policy was set to expire last week, but Republican-led states appealed to uphold it, worried that without Title 42, a flood of migrants will overwhelm the border. Homeland Security warning that 18,000 migrants could cross the border every day. In El Paso, migrants are sleeping on the streets, enduring the cold, some sleeping under wet blankets.
If they continue to get in without being undetected, we're going to continue to have this population grow within our community. And so that is concerning.
The city recently declared an emergency. Large tents are now being built to handle the influx. These satellite images taken just 5 days apart last week show the rapid construction of one housing facility designed to hold 1,000 migrants. The Biden administration saying it's also added thousands of personnel at the border. But critics on both sides of the political aisle acknowledge whatever eventually happens to Title 42 next year, the problem on the border won't be solved until Congress takes action to reform the immigration system.
Back in El Paso, many migrants are ineligible for city shelters, and others have said no to any help, fearing it could lead to deportation.
It's a terrible situation down there. And back to Buffalo, though. It's amazing what those people are going through with all the snow there. I saw yesterday on social media, they have some special skid steers going in, and they're just picking up cars and moving them around.
Right.
Kind of extreme measures for extreme circumstances. But
right. They say they want the roads clear curb to curb, but where can all the snow go
it makes
if it's
sense,
still cold?
Yeah. I mean, emergency crews still have to get through, so the main thing is get the roads opened, and then they can work on the rest.
Right.
But,
well, still to come here on the second half of our show, we'll hear about some of this year's most popular New Year's resolutions.
Plus, we'll have some ice safety tips for those itching to get out on local lakes and ponds. Those stories and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Hello, Maine. This is Steve McKay. It's a wintry mix out there, but pockets of orange are standing out against the white blanket of snow throughout the state. Next Home Experience is listing and selling homes just like yours. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience.
Come try one of our daily specials at Pat's Pizza in Hamden.
Tuesday, spaghetti or ziti with meatballs or sausage, only $5.50.
Wednesday, large one-topping pizza, only $8.50.
Thursday, get an oven-baked wrap for only $6.
Friday is fish and fries for only $8.
And Saturday, get a small one-item pizza with a fountain soda, only $8.
Bring the family to Pat's Pizza, 662 Main Road, North Hamden.
Fear, pain, and anxiety are all feelings associated with dental treatments, but it doesn't have to be that way. Dental lasers offer a way to remove tooth decay without using the dental drill. In fact, we do most dental fillings here at Twin City Dental without numbing, so no needle. And for treatments like root canals or having many teeth extracted, we also provide IV sedation. So call Twin City Dental for your next dentist appointment.
If I don't hear from you tonight, I know it, but I can't let go. Everything I love is out to sea.
The Greg B. Harrell Show. ...
Am I supposed to read the ...
More than that, you know there's nothing.
Looking for your dream home? Contact a Next Homie today and see what's available right now. Sellers, get ready to get looped and get sold. With Next Home Experience, we have your buyers.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Wednesday, December 28th, 2022. Just 3 days left in the year. Today is also National Call a Friend Day. It reminds us to take a few minutes, pick up the phone, and call a friend that you've been meaning to get back in touch with. It's a busy time of year, and we don't always get in touch with everybody, but it's so important to maintain those friendships.
And it's so easy to get out of that habit, too.
It sure is. I'm guilty of it myself.
I know. Time goes by quick, and it's easy to forget.
It feels good if you pick up the phone, even if it's for 5 minutes or something like that. So.
Absolutely. Especially if you're having kind of not a great day and you just need to cheer yourself up, just call and see. You don't need anything to talk about.
Yeah. Might turn your day right around.
Right. There you go. Well, on this day in history, in 1920, famed aviator Amelia Earhart took her first airplane ride, an experience that made her determined to become an aviator. And in 1973, the Endangered Species Act was signed into law by President Richard Nixon. And in 1981, Elizabeth Jordan Carr, the nation's first test tube baby, was born in Virginia.
That was huge news back then. Nowadays, it's kind of a daily occurrence.
I know. Yeah. That's crazy.
Today's birthdays include actor Dame Maggie Smith, who is 88. Actor Denzel Washington is 68. Talk show host Seth Meyers is 49. And R&B singer John Legend, with his smooth voice, is 44 years old.
She's a dame.
Dame. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's like a kind of a knight kind of title kind of thing.
So.
But yeah, she's
fantastic.
Because
Judi Dench was the last one that we had, and I learned that time.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like Maggie. Denzel Washington, one of my all-time favorite actors, too. So.
I agree.
Yeah.
Training Day.
Yep.
Saw that a bit too young.
It's good stuff, though.
It's a great movie. Yeah, it's a good movie. Well, I mean, the weather looks like, as far as ice conditions go, maybe for these rinks that we're seeing out in Millbridge.
We're getting some cold weather now. It looks like a little warm weather towards the end of the week, but we're getting some good cold weather. Just be careful out there. The game wardens will tell you, check the ice as you go, that kind of thing. And as we'll see in a little bit, it's good to have some other safety measures with you before you go out on the ice.
Absolutely. Devin Biggs has the forecast.
Hey, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. We've made it to Wednesday. We do have an aerial flood advisory that's in effect. This is southwest of Lincoln, and this is up until 9 a.m. this morning. This is because of an ice jam that has developed that has caused some flooding in a few areas. And as you can tell, it's a very small spot that's under an advisory. But if you know anyone in this area, you may want to let them know, or definitely keep an eye on things, as there is that concern with an ice jam that's taking place. On top of that, we're watching some precipitation moving in from the west going toward the east. And within the past several hours, we've been watching for some snow that's continuing to move in. We can see a little accumulations out of this, but of course, whatever accumulates will not be lasting very long, with a sharp warm-up on the way later on this week, possibly 40s on the way before we're all finished up later on the next 5 days. But here's the snow right here riding along this front here, tracking off towards the east. So again, a little bit of accumulations today, maybe make traveling a little bit tricky from time to time, but nothing too ridiculous in effect at this point. Here's the winds, so out of the south, and we might see them change in a few areas, mainly out of the west to the south in a few spots around 5 to 10 miles per hour. But even through Thursday, the wind's looking a little more relaxed, so we're looking pretty good as we continue to move forward. So again, snow showers expected today and a little bit into tonight, but a lot of the coverage will back off. But another wave of snow possible, especially the northern ends of the state as we head towards tomorrow morning. So here's your forecast for today. Lower 30 snow showers on the way. A southwest wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Here's your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period. Cloudy skies, snow showers on the way. Temperatures in the 30s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
So some possible freezing conditions is what we're seeing. But as the days may get colder, many folks are thinking about getting outside and on the ice for a variety of activities. Whether it's ice fishing, ice skating, or snowmobiling, pond and lake ice safety tips should be at the forefront of one's mind. The Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife has released winter ice safety tips, advising that you should always check the color and thickness of ice. Light gray to dark black colored ice means that it is melting, which can occur even if the air temperature is below 32 degrees, like we've been seeing this week, meaning that this ice is not safe. White to opaque ice is water-saturated snow that froze on top of the ice, which can cause air pockets in the ice. Not necessarily dangerous, but can be quite the annoyance, especially if you're skating. Blue and clear ice is high density and very strong, which is great for all sorts of activities unless it's under 4 inches thick. So it's always important to check the thickness of ice using an auger, chisel, or an axe. Also, make note of any inlets, outlets, currents, bridges, or any culverts that could be potential hazard areas. Avoid areas with currents such as around bridges. If skating on ice, it's always a good idea to have ice picks as well and know the proper protocol to use them in case you fall in, because that's always a possibility.
Yeah, also a good idea to let people know where you're going. If you're going out there for a skate, give
Great
somebody
point.
a call, let them know that you're going to be there. So,
Great point. Or have a buddy. I mean, I've had the thought of I want to keep my ice skates in my trunk just if in case I see the spot, because you don't always know if you're going to come up on a good spot. And then I start thinking, similar to hiking alone, I don't know if I want to do this alone.
Need to let somebody know where you're going and just be careful out there because it hasn't been really cold and it's dangerous.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's fun, though, too.
You can have it.
I'll take it. Ryan Sudol will have the latest with local sports when we return.
Bangor Floral is your perfect destination this holiday season. Since 1925, Bangor Floral has been a premier provider of beautiful floral arrangements and thoughtful holiday gifts for almost 100 years, featuring new, colorful blooms, blossoming plants, and gift baskets that have warmed hearts for generations. And we strongly support the Buy Local movement by purchasing directly from local farms and growers. Bangor Floral at 332 Harlow Street. Experience a flower shop like no other this holiday season.
For the best selection in classic and contemporary furnishings, stop by Richard Parks Furniture on High Street in Ellsworth. Handcrafted New England-made bedrooms and dining rooms, imported Scandinavian recliners and upholstery, more than 40 lines of furniture for the home and patio. Richard Parks Furniture is your #1 stop for quality, functionality, and well-designed furniture at affordable prices. Richard Parks Furniture.
Discover Richard Parks.
132 High Street in Ellsworth.
Discover Richard.
Luna Family Auto Sales is a locally owned business run by a husband and wife team.
Here at Luna Family Auto Sales, we combine our passion for cars with providing service to the community and local economy. Featuring no dark or hidden fees at all, we offer financing for all credit types and service everything we sell.
Check out our website at lunafamilyautosales.com.
Or come in and say hi. We'd love to meet you and introduce ourselves. Luna Family Auto Sales, 649 Stillwater Ave, Old Town.
You know, I love me some good GMA in the morning. Robin, George, Michael, and GMA. Now that's how you start your day.
Good morning, America.
Yep, bring your friends.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Hope you're having an exciting one so far. And let's say it's been exciting for Pats fans lately. Seems like every week there's always a finger to point, and this week is no exception. In the aftermath of the Pats' loss against the Bengals Saturday, running back Ramondre Stevenson is under fire. On this play coming up where he fumbled the ball and cost the Pats the game, many are criticizing Stevenson for not just going down to the turf after being pushed back so far behind the line. If he did, perhaps the Pats would have kept the ball, scored, and won. Despite that, Coach Belichick said Monday that he doesn't mind how he handled it.
Yeah, Mondre's ball scared. He's been pretty good all year. He had 2 hands on the ball. They're running him back, and they knock it out at the end. I'm not going to second guess Ramondre on what he did.
Same thing. And while the Patriots can get away with splitting their last 2 games to at least have a shot at the playoffs, they must beat the Dolphins Sunday to stay in it. Even with the Pats' latest struggles, Coach Belichick is keeping his approach simple.
Obviously, take it one game at a time like we always do. So, need to get ready to play our best game against Miami this week.
Bet you didn't think he was going to say that, did you? Always a treat, Coach Belichick. Anyhow, Tuesday brought the return of high school basketball to our area, and we have great action from both boys and girls. It's going to be quick. Don't blink. Let's start over in Herman with the girls. 3-1 Hawks hosting John Baptist as the Crusaders try for their third win in a row. First quarter, how about starting the scoring hot? Herman's Sadie Campbell with a long-range three to get the Hawks on the board 3-0. A couple minutes later, Baptist is going to cash in. Claire Gattani with the three here. Great job by Scopey underneath two to draw the D away. Okay, now 3:30 to go in the first. Campbell again, this time on the break. She's going to get the hoop and the harm. Herman with the lead, 11-9. Finally, next possession. Allie Cameron, the coach's daughter, on the inbound for the Hawks, immediately finds Veronica Chiquetto underneath for another and one for Herman. Hawks lead 16-12 after one. They go on to win 64-53. Okay, now for a big one in Class B boys. Battle of the Unbeatens. Ellsworth visiting Old Town. Let's go to the third quarter. Coyotes were down 13 at the half, but they came out firing. Here's Gabe Gifford with a three-pointer, one of 5 straight that would end up tying the game. 3:30 to go in the first. The steal by Brendan Mahaney. Long pass up to Grayson Thibault. He lays it in. That gives Old Town the 35-33 lead. 17-2 run to start the half. But Ellsworth wouldn't go away. Chance Mercier ahead to Dawson Curtis. Nice reverse lay-in to tie it at 37. And then Curtis returns the favor. Long pass up to Mercier. Watch this Euro step from the star junior. Wow, the finish and with the fall. That gives the Eagles a 44-37 lead late in the third. They go on to win a close one, 60-58, to stay unbeaten. Now over to the Eastern Maine Sports Academy in Veazey. Bangor Christian hosting Penquist. Pat's going for 2 in a row. Late second quarter, Penquist on the break. Nice pass up the floor from Cooper Badger to Max Wells, who lays it in. Next possession, Patriots with it. Conrad Straubel into Jason Libby. Nice penetration off the glass and in. Bangor Christian with the lead. Later on, Penquist on the break again. Here comes Wells inside, but Colton White says, "May you kindly remove that stuff out of my general area. Thank you very much." Finally, here's Jalen Reed for Bangor Christian. He shoots it over to Libby. He takes the three and makes the three. Bangor Christian a double-digit lead at the half. They win it 63-39. And finally, we head to the stable as Hamden Academy Boys Hoops hosts Bangor. Broncos trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. Third quarter, Rams with it. This is Connor Boone. He's going to take it himself. Almost lost his balance there, but he puts it up and in anyway. Switched hands, too. Nice. Rams still down a bunch, and that's because of the Broncos raining on their parade. That's Zach McClellan, friend of the program, with a 3. And now we go to the fourth quarter. McClellan again off the feed from Brandon Butterfield. Another 3. Broncos up 30. Finally, under 2 to go. Butterfield, the inbound to Nick Johnston. Step back City. Yet another tray. Hamden snaps their skid and beats Bangor 65-54. Okay, now let's check some out-of-town scores here. Brewer takes down Mount Blue in the Capital City Classic 64-32. And in Class B boys basketball, Orono topped Washington Academy 56-40. They are 5-0 on the season. Valley defeated Piscataquis 76-44 in Class C and D action. And finally, Dexter edged out Penobscot Valley 44-41 in Class C girls action. Okay, inhale and exhale. That's all the time we have for sports. I'm Ryan Sudol. We'll be back right after the break.
Mad Cat & Company in the North Brewer Shopping Plaza invites you to host your next event with us. We are much more than just a bar. Our event room is designed to host any type of event, formal or casual. Family gatherings, birthday parties, corporate parties, club meetings, fundraisers, or weddings and receptions. We've got you covered. Our open floor plan can adequately seat 100 or more people, and we can assist you with food, drinks, and entertainment as well. Call or visit our website today.
Hammond Lumber Company appreciates the communities that have supported Hammond's prosperity and growth over the years. The Hammond team is grateful for the opportunity to give back by supporting local causes that sustain strong, vibrant communities throughout Maine and New Hampshire. Hammond recognizes that they could not do this without your support. Thank you for choosing Hammond as your building project partner. Hammond Lumber Company, proud to serve local communities since 1953.
New Year's Eve magic is in the air from the happiest place on earth to Times Square. Join Join me and my co-hosts Billy Porter, Sierra, D-Nice, Jesse James Decker, Liza Koshy, and Rosalind Sanchez as we ring in the new year live from New York.
With performances by Dove Cameron, Duran Duran, Faruko, Halle Bailey, J-Ho, New Edition, Wiz Khalifa, and so many more.
It's time to celebrate 2023. Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest live on ABC.
Nothing gets us all into the New York City rhythm more than Times Square on New Year's Eve. With just 4 more days until the big night, crews are working overtime on those last-minute preparations.
ABC's Will Gantz has more.
5, 4.
The countdown is officially on to 2023. In Port Clinton, Ohio, they'll mark the new year by dropping a giant walleye named Wiley. Panama City, Florida drops a beach ball, naturally. And in Princess Anne, Maryland, they'll celebrate with a stuffed muskrat dive.
3, 2, 1!
But the main event will be here in Times Square, New York City.
You know, it's like our Eiffel Tower or Great Wall of China or something. It's something that Americans just really connect to.
Final preparations underway for the party of the year, and everyone is on the guest list.
We have found ways to carry on our traditions each year during the pandemic, and this year we are welcoming the world back without any restrictions. So come early, get a great space, and Happy New Year.
And that iconic star of the celebration, the Times Square Ball, 12 feet in diameter with over 2,600 crystal panels. The 2023 theme of this year's Waterford Crystal design, Gift of Love.
We need this after the pandemic. We've all gone through an horrendous 2 years. We've come out the other side of it, and we've come out better.
The ball weighs over 11,000 pounds, which is more than 2 Chevy Tahoes.
Then in a few days from now, New Year's Eve, 1.2 billion people approximately around the world watching the ball drop.
Ryan Seacrest hosting the New Year's Rockin' Eve celebration for his 18th year in a row, counting down to 2023 with some of his own favorite moments of New Year's Eves gone by. From Taylor to Mimi to Dick Clark himself.
There's no other moment like it, where we're all doing the same thing at the same time, filled with hope for 2023.
Today, Times Square is celebrating its annual Good Riddance Day, a chance for people to say a final farewell to the hurdles, frustrations, and anything negative they wish to leave behind in 2022. As for New Year's Eve, the confetti test will be held on Thursday, and the ball test will be held on Friday, just one day before the main event on Saturday night.
Bangor also planning to have its annual ball drop on New Year's Eve this year.
I was just taking a look at, there's a lot of Facebook events
all kinds of
in
things
Bangor and expanded beyond our little sphere right here. So it's exciting. We'll have the community calendar on Friday to talk about all the events.
I like what Eastport does too. I think they drop a fish.
Cool.
I think it's like a salmon or something like that.
That's cool. So, I like it.
Yeah.
Sounds
New Year's
fun.
Eve, a lot of fun. And this year it looks like it will be kind of warm for New Year's Eve. In the past, I know it's been below 0 sometimes.
I'll take
Not this year though.
I'll take it. Devin Biggs says the forecast.
All right, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Here's that aerial flood advisory in effect until 9 a.m. Wednesday. This is because of an ice jam that has developed just to the south and west of Lincoln. There's that small green box right there, so not a very widespread area. So once this expires, we'll know things will begin to improve. If you know anyone in this area, or if you're in this area, definitely keep an eye on things. So, as of course, a little bit of flooding is occurring thanks to an ice jam. But otherwise, here we go. We do have some snow moving in from the west. Going toward the east, we have a front off toward our north, and this is causing some snow to develop this morning. And we could see a little bit of accumulations before we're all finished up, but eventually later this week, everything will melt with temperatures that will be warming up thanks to this large warm front that's developed across the northern ends of the states and even in the parts of Canada, and yes, right over us too. So temperatures later this week possibly making it into the 40s. That will feel amazing. But futurecast moving forward, we do have snow that's moving through and plenty of clouds as well. We might see a few breaks in the clouds as we head towards later on tonight and parts of tomorrow morning. Another small wave of snow possible, especially in the northern ends of the state as we head towards Thursday morning. But otherwise for us, just mainly clouds and maybe a few breaks in those clouds as we head further out towards the south and west. So overall, we're looking pretty good as we continue to move forward. Snow accumulations won't be anything ridiculous, maybe an inch or so in the northern ends of the state by Millinocket and Greenville, but lesser amounts further off towards the south and east, so we're looking pretty good there. Then the next wave gets going as we head towards Thursday, and as you can see, maybe a little bit more snow possible in the northern ends of the state, but for us, looking pretty good generally, an inch or less in many areas. areas. So again, wave height's not too bad. The winds are relaxed, ranging from around 1 to 2 feet according to the buoys closer to shore, 4 feet according to this buoy, and 5 feet according to this buoy. So overall, we're looking pretty good across the ocean. This morning, we're advertised 31 degrees. We'll reach for the lower 30s today, upper 30s Thursday. Here's a warm-up, 40s Friday, upper 40s Saturday, and close to 50 degrees Sunday before we start cooling off again Monday and your Tuesday in the upper 30s to lower 40s. So your forecast for today, lower 30s, snow showers on the way, generally an inch or less with lesser amounts to the south and east, with that southwest breeze at about 5 miles per hour. Later on tonight, mid-20s, mostly cloudy with a slight chance for snow, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Tomorrow, especially to the north, mostly cloudy, a slight chance for snow. Everyone else will be mostly cloudy overall. Highest in the upper 30s and a southeast wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. All right, here's a look at your extended forecast. So again, mostly cloudy on Friday. Highs in the mid-40s. A slight chance for rain showers for your Saturday, New Year's Eve. Highs in the upper 40s. And better chances for rain showers get going on New Year's Day. Highs close to 50 degrees.
Maine's #1 Kia dealer, Van Sickle Kia, has you covered. Front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, hybrid, or fully electric. Brand new 2023 Kia Sportage, Sorento, Soul, Forte, and more. Check out the all-new 2023 Kia Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg highway, or the affordable Sporty Forte with 41 mpg highway. Plus, get Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, the best in the business.
The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. I'm Peter Van Sickle. I guarantee it.
Hey, it's Eric from Green Bear 420. We've been in business since 2010 and going strong, so stop in and check us out. We specialize in glass art by over 100 local artists and even have live glass blowing. Plus, we carry incense, novelties, t-shirts, and hard-to-find items. We have tons of local products for the tie-dye wearing person in your circle of friends. Come see us at 531 Moosehead Trail in Newport. And remember, Green Bear 420, it's not just a store, it's a lifestyle.
When Natural Living Center wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Natural Living Center offers natural groceries, organic produce, the largest selection of supplements in the area, gluten-free products, and more for your health.
Hi, I'm Angelina Mucci.
And I'm Andy Mucci of Family Fun Bowling Center.
When we want to know the weather, we go to foxbangor.com.
Celebrating our 50th anniversary year, Family Fun Bowling Center has 20 lanes of 10-pin bowling at its best.
Big trucks rule the road. They're dangerous, and they can cause big, bad injuries. But the big trucking companies don't stand a chance against me. I'm Jim with Lowry & Associates. If you've been hurt by a big truck, call the twos. We win for you.
Before you count down on New Year's Eve, count on GMA to be rockin' with Mr. Rockin' Eve himself, Ryan Seacrest Live, and Jesse James Decker. The rockin'est New Year's Eve ever kicks off this week on Tell 'em Ryan.
Good morning, America.
Right around the corner is 2023, and many people are planning their New Year's resolutions. Here's a look at some of the popular ideas. 1, get more sleep. That's a good one. I like that one a lot. To do that, you'll want to shut off the electronics earlier. And 2, make something with your hands. Adding skills like arts and crafts can reward your emotional state. And 3, break away from your food routines. You can get out and try new foods in new places and also consider traveling. I love those.
Good advice, yeah.
Those are all good. Those are all good for the mental health, too.
Yeah. I'm going to work on my food thing this year. That's what I'm working on. I just lost another button this morning. It's not good. I think
it happens. It's the time of year.
Symptom of the holidays.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, folks.
Have a good one.
Pond Hill Farms in Brooks, Maine offers 100% grass-fed beef in a variety of ways. Choose between individual cuts that are state-inspected and ready to pop in your fridge or freezer. If you're looking to stock up, Pond Hill Farms offer the option to purchase hanging weight by quarter, half, or whole. We also offer live cattle if you're looking to grow your own herd. Pond Hill Farms also offer rental cottages with spectacular views of the farm and the Maine outdoors. Whether you're looking for fresh Maine meat or a gorgeous place to vacation, Pond Hill Farms is the place to be.
Even though Dorsey Furniture is known for our vast collections of quality home furnishings, sometimes we like to venture into the forgotten passageways and dark corners of our enormous warehouse to mine the odd nightstand, forgotten sofa, orphaned love seat, or the elusive discontinued mattress. Meanwhile, our sales manager, and not the bean counters, smash the original retail prices into tiny fractions of themselves. Dorsey Furniture Black Tag Sale going on now.
Pro football fans, it's You Pick'em NFL. The Pro